Hello fellow fume heads, it's Trina and welcome back to my channel. So, I recently read a clever article on Fragrantica by historian, archaeologist, and fragrance author Elena Voznacki about Chanel No. 5, the title of which was, "Is Chanel No. 5 obsolete?" I'll link to it below. The article spurred me to finally get it out of the way and talk about this iconic little perfume. This is the Eau de Parfum, I think, little guy. I'll get to the point right now, which is that I do kind of think this perfume is at least becoming obsolete, but I don't think the myth behind it is, at least not yet. Although you'd never know it from the painting behind me and the collection of Chanel fragrances I actually own, Chanel is far from my favorite fragrance brand. I do respect their handbags though, but while the battle between Dior and Chanel when it comes to bags is fierce, for me that's not the case with perfume. In my opinion, Dior trumps Chanel hard and repetitively. In fact, Dior is probably my favorite fashion house for fragrances. There are exceptional fragrances from Chanel, of course. Chanel Sycamore comes to mind, which I've talked about on this channel. But No. 5, it's never been my thing. And there are reasons. First, the composition is highly aldehydic, and that's generally never been my vibe. And second, it's relatively too traditional for me. Actually, I think it's outdated, essentially. I hate this term. It's not very PC, but yeah, I think it's kind of old lady perfume, like, you know? Gonna get a lot of backlash for that, but anyway, apparently I am not the only one who thinks so, although others might not admit it. I've had several bottles of Chanel No. 5 over the years. Only this little EDP here have I purchased myself. And I bought it for a mere 500 yen online. And I bought it purely for reference purposes. I don't actually wear this. In fact, on Mercari Japan, which is an online selling platform peer-to-peer, there are pages upon pages of unused bottles of Chanel No. 5 for sale, many for quite the bargain. The other bottles of Chanel No. 5 I've owned in the past were actually sort of hand-me-downs from friends who claimed they simply didn't wear it and insisting I take theirs because, Trina, you love perfume. They weren't wrong there, but note that none of them said they did not like it, just that they did not wear it. It almost feels like saying you don't like Chanel No. 5 is blasphemy, but I don't like No. 5. There, I said it. Hang me? Ernest Beau created Chanel No. 5 in 1921, having been inspired by the ambience of the Arctic night and snowcaps of glaciers. Mr. Beau knew about this ambience because apparently he was a lieutenant of counterintelligence during the Russian Revolution, overseeing the death camp on the island of Madyug in the northern White Sea, and yeah, he was involved in human torture. And by the way, Coco herself was at one point friendly with the Nazis during World War II. I hope cancel culture does not get a whiff of this. Have you noted that Chanel did not make a big deal out of No. 5 for its 100th anniversary? Anyway, the perfume got its name when Mr. Beau asked Madame Chanel to choose from 2 series of perfume samples numbered 1 to 5 and 20 to 24, and she chose No. 5. The superstitious Madame Chanel also chose May 5th, 5/5, to present her new perfume. This story has become part of Chanel's creation myth, like the inside zippered section of Chanel classic flap handbags created for Madame Chanel's storage of her secret letters from her lover. Snowcaps of glaciers and the ambience of the Arctic night are not what the general public clung to years later, however. It was Marilyn Monroe, wasn't it? No. 5's most famous patron. What do you wear to bed? Why, Chanel No. 5, of course. Actually, I'm not sure if this is hearsay or not, but photos of Monroe with the perfume and a recording of her talking about the fragrance were not published before the company, that is Chanel, got its paws on them. Apparently, No. 5 was not the best performing fragrance in sniff tests, even in the 1950s. So my guess is that Marilyn's profession of love for the scent was seen by Chanel, the Chanel organization, as something to be exploited. Or maybe they got her to say it in the first place. I don't know. And these days, according to Wozniacki, No. 5 does not fare well in blind smell tests for a lot of current sniffers either. It would seem that Chanel knows this, perhaps, as there have been iterations of No. 5 that are really rather different. Bestsellers from other brands might repackage, but they don't necessarily feel the need to completely reformulate or heavily flankerize. Okay, so maybe there was that pretty red bottle from Christmas 2018, but generally no, No. 5 has not simply been repackaged. Until recently, it's relied on its icon status. In the more recent years of its long history, we got Eau Première from 2007 and then later in 2015. We had No. 5 Sensual Elixir, some EDTs and EDP versions, and No. 5 L'Eau, which I have here. Now this one sells well in Japan. Why? Well, I think it's because it's a washed out, watered down version that keeps traces of parts of the original that you can only really smell in close quarters. Perfect for the Asian market, where unassuming ethereal fragrances that don't dare infringe on other people's space are de rigueur, at least in Japan. This is culturally appropriate. Side note, as a fragrance lover, I most definitely live in the wrong country. I can't tell you how excited I get on my trips to the Middle East. You know, I have to admit I got this one really cheap too, and I don't really wear it. My curtains have, though. Of course, another reason why Chanel No. 5 and, well, actually anything with the Chanel brand stamped on it sells well anywhere, but especially here in Asia, is status. Chanel is a luxury brand with heritage, and I think that very fact can push a sale regardless of what little No. 5 here actually smells like. With its deep pockets, Chanel's been able to capitalize on celebrity image to keep No. 5's image afloat. In addition to Coco herself, Chanel has recruited Susie Parker, Ali McGraw, Jean Shrimpton, Catherine Deneuve, Carole Bouquet, Estella Warren, Nicole Kidman, Audrey Tautou, Brad Pitt. Yes, of course men can wear No. 5. Gisele Bündchen, Lily Rose Depp, recently Marion Cotillard, and of course, Marilyn Monroe. Chanel was raised in an orphanage that had been a monastery. The nuns' cleanliness and stark simplicity pleased Coco. Fresh linens piled high in cupboards and the smell of yellow soap the girls used to scrub their faces left lasting impressions on the young lady. So yes, Madame Chanel was quite particular about soapy, clean cleanliness, and for her time, this perfume, even in its rather civety undertones original formula, was considered quite clean. Now that's not how many consider it now, even in its less animalic reformulation. This is probably due to the fact that soap itself smells differently now, and our definition of clean has gone the way of strong detergent, chemical detergent. Sadly, perfumes that have any trace of gorgeous skank are not favored by the contemporary general public. Thank goodness there's niche perfumery for the rest of us. Most mainstream fragrances these days seem to be either super sweet or squeaky clean, a la Bath and Body Works variety. So this fragrance, created by Jacques Bolg, contains the following notes. So, A lot of people, and I do include fragrance lovers here, think this fragrance is reminiscent of urine. They're not wrong, because that is apparently not an uncommon side effect of musk, real musk at least. Others say it reminds them of bug spray. A lot of the negative talk I read or hear on social media is about Chanel No. 5's so-called dirty underside. The urine, the diapers, the sweat, the griminess. All that is not that perceptible to me to begin with. In fact, I love moss and patchouli. And bring back the civet. Fake civet is fine. The reason I don't care for it is firstly because florals are simply not my favorite genre of perfume, and this is very much a floral, big and center. A much bigger reason for not being a fan, however, is the type and sheer volume of aldehydes here. Quite simply, I just cannot take them. I find this perfume heavy and migraine-inducing. The odor profile of aldehydes is soapy, fatty, fresh, laundry-like, and frosty. That all sounds nice, I know, but the exact mixture of soapy flowers in this particular fragrance makes me gag a little. Maybe it's just me. I'm sorry, Chanel No. 5 lovers. But okay, if I try and get past that, let's open this up here. Oh. If I try and get past that, I get other stuff too. I get bright and sunny, effervescent, powdery, but just strongly perfumery, so vintage perfumery. I'm sorry, those aldehydes are back. I can't. One thing I will say about this perfume is that it's much better with time, meaning after the aldehydes bid farewell. Some fragrance has been on this strip for a little while now, almost 2 hours, I think. And yeah, the scent is calmer. The smooth richness of No. 5 is starting to play out. And this is when I start to feel I might like No. 5. But no, overall, I don't like it. I do admire it though, but I mostly admire it because of its history. It was the first famous perfume. The bottle is gorgeous. The marketing is clever. The mythology surrounding it is legendary. All of this makes it sophisticated, classy, and timeless. Look, I don't hate how it smells, but I do think there are so many much more beautiful concoctions to relish on one's own person. I'm willing to bet money that many bottles of a No. 5 serve more as shelf decor than fragrance for many women and men, in addition to myself. Actually, I think Chanel's big commercial hit perfume by now is probably Coco Mademoiselle. These are most definitely more relatable to a larger number of people today. I do smell these out and about in the real world as well, much more than Chanel No. 5. Perfume for many of us is purely sentimental though. Sometimes it's not about the actual juice in the bottle, but rather what the liquid and its container symbolize to us that gives us value. Memories of life in your prime, days of happiness past, successes or milestones in love, work, sport, art, or whatever. Coco Chanel, or even Coco Mademoiselle, is probably to younger people what No. 5 is to my generation. To particularly young people, perhaps they are all old lady fragrances, but no, I think there's some young people that like them. The only constant is change, so I hope Chanel innovates more and rests less on its laurels. At the same time, I do hope No. 5, the juice, not the myth, doesn't become obsolete. If IFRA regulations continue to weaken it, it's possible that this could happen. Fortunately, I don't think the Chanel No. 5 legend ever will die out. Even if people don't wear it anymore, which I think is unlikely, I do think it'll continue to be celebrated. Okay, I'll stop here. I know this is going to be a potentially polarizing video. I look forward to reading your comments. I wonder how many of you hate No. 5. I don't hate it, but dislike it like me, or feel a wee bit guilty about it too. Bag hag, frag hag, and scent gourmand, signing out. Mwah. See you in my next video.